Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome back to another live stream. Today is the DCTV show episode 36. Today we're currently by myself. I don't know if anyone else is going to be joining me, but we'll just have to wait and see. And for now, yeah, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to everyone who's joining live. Obviously, people are going to be watching afterwards. Hopefully, my internet is a little bit better today. I've got my internet, my router, right next to my laptop, like literally behind it. So hopefully it should be pretty good. So hopefully it sticks out and it's better. However, we got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, as always, as you guys are all joining now, as per usual, please be sure to send in your super chat questions. How do you send in super chats? Well, you click the $ underneath the chat button where you would normally type stuff. You can choose however much you want to support the channel, but also you'll get your question answered straight away in the live stream, and I'll pop it up on the screen and we'll talk about it for like a while. Obviously, with super chats, you're donating towards the channel, so we want to put a lot of emphasis on this because it's a question that you guys have, like, you really want it answered. So it's much appreciated, and that's basically the best way to get your questions answered, because obviously there's a lot of you guys in the live stream. But as always, you can comment in the chat, and I will be going over chat questions throughout this whole live stream. And yes, I have let Flashverse spam in the chat just for a couple of times. He asked for my permission because, yeah. But yeah, so welcome to the live stream. Sorry for the kind of slow start, but we got to talk about the Flash. We got to be talking about Superman and Lois. Those were the main episodes this week. Also, Diggle showed up in Batwoman, but I haven't watched Batwoman yet. Apparently, he only shows up in a couple of scenes, so maybe I need to get some of your guys' opinions. Do you think I should hop onto Batwoman and watch that episode? I haven't been up to date with Batwoman. If I was, I would have watched the episode, obviously, but I haven't been up to date recently. But yeah, let's talk about the Flash first. Okay, so you guys can chime in on everything that I'm talking about and everything I'm saying. What do you guys think about everything that has happened this week? So let's talk about the Flash. So what do you guys think about this week's episode of the Flash? This was obviously Cecile's episode, and it was a big thing for her. However, there was some characters that had a lot less time, and obviously this is like in the middle of the season, so it's kind of weird. But I mean, we always do get filler episodes every once in a while. But yeah, Flash first is like going off in the chat. So we're going to be talking about that in today's video. That's one of my topics because some people really don't like the Flash this season. And I want to get your opinions on the Flash this season. We're going to discuss it and just talk about it and see what the definitive answer is. Is the Flash good this year? Is it okay? Is it bad? Like some people think. Because I think we're all kind of up in the air about it. Like we all have our different opinions as always. And yeah, so I think this is a very relevant question. And I'll go into my notes in just a second. But Ethan says, why didn't Eric Wallace spread out the filler episodes? Now, this is true because never normally do we get like 3 filler episodes in a row. It's very, very unlikely that happens unless there's absolutely nothing happening. Basically, this season, we haven't had that many filler episodes, like maybe 1, but most of the stuff has all been to do with the main storyline. So having 3 filler episodes, basically what it means is those episodes are episodes where you have like story that is not to do with like a main villain or something. So they've, put them all one after the other. You have Cisco, Cecile, and then you also have the upcoming Allegra episode. So we are joined by CanadaGraphs, who is outside. I presume.
Hi.
Welcome.
How you doing? Yeah, I'm just at a set for Peacemaker right now, but it's all interiors, so I have time to do this.
Well, So how's Peacemaker going? So obviously, guys, it's CanadaGraphs. He's out on the set, but he can't get in. So he is joining us. So how is Peacemaker going? Have they been filming like a lot actually?
Well, they've got a couple of like commonly used sets that they use. Like the place they're at today is this house that I shot them at like 3 or 4 months ago. So they're back there today. But yeah, I haven't caught up to them much because a lot of their exterior shoots have been way out in like an hour outside of Vancouver. So I've gone out there once to see them like a week or two ago, but I have not really seen much of them. So I came out here today hoping to get something, and at the moment they're inside, but they do have an exterior later, so I just have to wait that out.
Yeah.
How you doing?
No, I'm good, thanks. And yeah, pretty good week. Superman Lois was really good, you know, in terms of DCTV. The Flash, I obviously want to get your opinion on The Flash because everyone is like so up in the air about everything.
Give me 1 second here. I just dropped something.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, so I'll just quickly go back to what I was doing about like the 3 episodes. It's weird. I don't know what's happening, but I think it is. I don't know. Like I like the Cisco episode. Cecile's episode this week was pretty good. It was okay. You guys let me know in the chat, like, was it good, bad, rubbish, okay? What did you guys think about it? So let us know in the chat and I'm going to read that out. But yeah, something is quite wrong, I think, with this season. Something to do with the formula. But anyway, yeah, so what did you think of The Flash this week then, Canada?
I just heard what you said, and well, my opinion is notably different. I thought it was atrociously bad.
Ooh.
And I can't even hide how bad I thought it was. Like I can't softball it and be like, you know, no, it's just bad. Everything from the execution to the directing to just honestly, even some of the acting. Like I find Danielle Nicolette's generally decent, but I didn't buy her in this episode. Like having this storyline, like just nothing about this episode hit on any level for me. So it was maybe one of the 3 worst episodes I've ever watched of the show.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, I have to agree, you know. There was a couple of times I don't know if it's down to the editing as well, but like okay, when she was playing like the deranged or evil version of herself, a couple of times she was like woo and I was like, I don't buy this.
Like, just there was so many choices that I was just like okay. Like
yeah,
not I don't know whose decisions they were. I don't know if it was just a flaw of the story or if it was a flaw of the director, flaw of the acting, or a combination. But yeah, there was so many things that didn't hit. And I really, like, as someone, like, I lived in an area for a long time that is rife with mental abuse and mental issues, right? Like,
yeah,
I lived in the poorest postal code in Canada for a while. So a lot of people down there that have issues. And I've seen how they have to deal with it on a day-to-day basis. And for them to just kind of softball it, like, you know, a couple motivational speeches and you're fine. I'm just like, this is so insulting to the people you're trying to put a focus on. It would be like, I mean, take any group that feels disrespected or troubled by like society, and you just like kind of like sweep it aside, like, you know what, if you just think positively, it'll be okay. Like that was kind of the message they were like sending. And I thought I understand they wanted to do a mental awareness episode. They struck out swinging on trying to get that message across.
Yeah, and I think the same thing goes for last week's episode, because it was the start of June and they tried to do like
the Pride with Rainbow Raider, and they didn't even mention it.
No, because I didn't even realize it was like supposed to be a Pride episode until Eric last night told me. He was like, oh, the Rainbow Raider stuff was the Pride. I was like, okay, I did not think of that because they didn't even mention it at all, like anything to do with it. And so it's similar. I think, you know, they're just really softballing all their messages.
Yeah, like they're just basically like, well, if we acknowledge it in a subtle way, people will get the idea. It's like people won't, first of all, and then if you're going to like hammer us over the head with it like they tried to in this most recent episode, you kind of have to have your facts straight. Get someone on your staff that has gone through the trouble, has maybe even, like, I am sure you can find someone that has done time in a psychiatric ward or has been in years and years of counseling for serious problems that can tell you what that process is. They're not rare in Hollywood. How do you not have one on your staff that can tell you?
Yeah. I don't know. But that being said, yes, this episode wasn't the best. I don't think it was the worst of the season. I thought that what was it? The penultimate Speed Force episode was the worst. Remember? Yeah, when they were like, "Daddy, Mommy," all that stuff.
They have definitely been in a slump right now.
Yeah, I think they're in a slump. And actually, you know what? I like the Cisco episode, so
I liked the Cisco episode more or less. I think a lot of fans are very frustrated because the first half didn't hit with most people. And now we're in the second half and you've tossed away 2 episodes in a shortened season. People are really frustrated. And on top of it, Allegra's supposed to be the next episode. I understand people's frustration. I mean, I am still, except for this last episode, I am for the most part still entertained by the show. But I understand why people are just like en masse tweeting, posting on YouTube videos and all that. Like, I'm done with the show. Like, I do understand.
Yeah, no, I do understand because, like, I think if you love a show, and I think Paige, you mentioned this yesterday, if you love a show and you're so committed to it, and you kind of know the characters, right? If you've been watching for a long time, years after years, and you see something that doesn't work, I think you have the right to be like, okay, this doesn't work. If you are a proper fan, I think it's bad when people come in and be like, oh, look at this one clip from Supergirl or The Flash or something like that, If
you take one clip out of context, it's easy to make fun of it. But if you've been watching years of it and you're just like, I know this show can be better. Yeah, you have every right to complain.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what, we're doing. Like, and I don't think, okay, I'm not as extreme. Like, I didn't hate last night's episode.
Right.
Sorry, the night before's episode. I actually thought it was okay. I thought some of it wasn't very good, like, especially with the other version of Cecile. I didn't believe that. And I think that was just a way that they depicted mental health. I don't think came across very well. And the way she was acting, it just kind of seemed like a sketch or something. I don't know. It just didn't. It wasn't.
I mean, I honestly felt like it was a high school drama production with the believability of the scene. Like, I don't know. I do not know what they were aiming for, but it came across kind of insulting to the people they were trying to like focus on,
Yeah. And
I mean, at least Superman and Lois was good right after it, so you're able to cleanse your palate with that.
Oh, of course, yeah. Superman and Lois is on a streak. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, so I got a couple of other Flash topics I want to talk about. So we've been noticing a distinct lack of Barry in his suit recently. Lots of people called that. Lots of people have said that. And so next week, apparently, there is going to be like one scene that you're going to have Barry in, and that's it. Apparently, he's going on vacation. And also, Iris is barely going to be in the episode. So it's pretty much going to be a pure like filler episode.
Second team, like Chester and Allegra.
Chester, Allegra, but mainly Allegra and her cousin. So what do you think about like the lack of Barry distinctly as the Flash, and not just Barry, but like as the Flash,
I mean, I do understand why people are frustrated with that. If it was just a lack of Grant Gustin on screen thing, I could excuse that away because I understand what the business of this industry is, and as shows get older, your top stars have some negotiating power, and one of those things they negotiate is more free time.
Yeah.
So I understand cutting down on Grant Gustin's overall time. But yeah, it is the Flash. If you're going to cut some Grant Gustin time out, you need to maybe cut down the Barry Allen time and focus more on the Flash doing the Flash stuff, so that you at least have the Flash in your story about the Flash.
Because I don't think he even suited up last night.
No, because the one scene where he even did like any speed stuff, he was in casual clothes in the Starchives. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So, do you think they're gonna like listen to the fans and like kind of correct it next season, or do you think they're gonna be more the same? Any thoughts?
It's a little hard to say, because I mean, this show has had a hit and miss history with listening to the fans. You know.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, there's every video I post, I always have people like, oh, he doesn't have the gold boots yet. Like. There's things fans want from them, and they just haven't done it yet. So will they listen to something like this? Hard to say. I mean, it is it's hard to take a show about a specific superhero like too serious when that superhero is almost never in it, you know?
Yeah, it's a bit strange, and I don't know. I don't normally notice when we don't have lots of like Barry as the Flash, because like you said, Grant is on screen, and I'm happy with just Grant. But then when I retrospectively look back at like say some of the photos I've got from the episode or something, I'm like, okay, there's no Flash in this episode. I'm like, okay, this is maybe a bit weird, and I see why people are complaining about it, and I think they should somehow correct it, like at least focus more on the Flash than necessarily like always to do with Barry, because I think it is the Flash after all, right? And people have been talking about how like we've been focusing a lot on these other characters, and I actually like it when they focus on like Iris and Cisco or Caitlin and stuff. I like that. But when they're completely like shutting out the whole of original Team Flash and Barry, obviously I know that like the actors aren't around all the time. I think it is a little bit weird. Like,
it is, yes.
Fully Allegra, or just like secondary Team Flash.
Like, I personally like Chester's character. Allegra, I'm indifferent to. Cecile has been good. I have no problem with them getting their own episode, but I still think you need to have the other parts of the primary Team Flash there as a bridge to the fans that show up only for that part of the show, you know?
Yeah.
Like no other show would have the balls to have their lead character essentially out for 2 or 3 episodes. I mean, even Supergirl worked around Melissa's schedule to squeeze her in some way. It might not be a way fans are happy with, but she's on screen for 5 to 10 minutes of an episode, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, finding a way to include them would be good, and totally shutting them out, I think it's weird, and it's something that has been happening over the last like couple of seasons. Like, you remember when Cisco's like not in like 2-3 episodes, and you're like, oh crap, Cisco wasn't.
I understand a little bit that, because I know that is a negotiating thing. Clearly, Carlos had said to him, like, you know what, I have no problem sticking around still, but I definitely want some breaks, like, and not breaks as in like 4 days. I want 2 to 3 weeks off. Like,
yeah,
I understand that stuff happens. That is a part of the negotiating process. You know, Candace did it this year at the winter break. She didn't come back right away from winter break. She literally took an extra 10 days. So, I mean, they all get that break where, they've negotiated in I need a 3-week, 4-week break at some point. Schedule me around that so that maybe I miss one episode and I'm light in another episode,
Yeah.
But this season, it seems like everybody's getting breaks left and right. And I kind of understand, because this year's been hard on everybody because of the unique circumstances. So maybe they have kind of been going to them we can't let you leave the country, but we can give you 2 weeks to go up to Whistler and ski or whatever. I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't know what the scheduling has been, why, but it's the only thing I can explain for this season is they've been trying to maybe give them a softer schedule because they can't go anywhere. I don't know.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. Obviously, your general thoughts about the Flash. I know some people like Flash first really, really don't like it right now, and some. Okay, let's talk about like Eric Wallace for a minute because some people have been saying like, oh, he's been doing like a terrible job, and like, oh, he should leave the show. I don't think he should leave the show. I think he's made some poor decisions, but I don't think it's necessarily all him. It's the writers as well. So I don't know if I would put all the blame on him. He's done a decent job. I thought, he did last season. Last season was like pretty good with blood work stuff. He's done some very good episodes here and there. So what's your thoughts on like how Eric has been doing the show over this season?
Okay, so
Mhm.
I always fall back because of like my past. I always fall back a bit on like sports analogies. So like to me, Eric Wallace is your general manager of the team. The writers are maybe the coaching staff, and then your actors are the players. So he's the GM. He's the guy that's making the decisions. He's the one that's chosen these writers. So you have to look at it and be like, well, he chose this coaching staff. And this coaching staff is getting a lot of L's right now.
Yeah.
He has a choice to make. He to save his job, he's got to make some choices. He's got to make some changes to that coaching staff. I mean, you can change some of the players on the roster, but at the end of the day, it's usually the coaching staff that gets the blame first, which in this case is your writers.
Yeah.
And I think they do deserve a lot of it. I think Eric Wallace deserves some of it. You can't just absolve him from any blame because he chose these writers, he chose these story arcs.
Yeah.
He doesn't go out every day and direct it and act in it, but he still chose these directions they're going,
Yeah.
So I feel like season 6 not too bad. I'd give him a passing grade. I'd even say a higher passing grade, like maybe a B minus.
Yeah.
This season, I'd be inclined to give him a failing grade or the bare minimum passing grade.
Mhm.
Like I'd say a C minus or D.
Yeah, and I pretty much agree with you. And you're right; it is the showrunner's job to run the show, to choose the right writers, and to get the best storylines. So, it is like a bit of a mix, but after all, he is in charge. So maybe after this season, some reflection has to be made. I don't know. Maybe the Godspeed stuff's going to be really good. I am optimistic. I think there has been some very good episodes here and there. Like I said, I really liked episode 2. I think that was really good.
Back when they're still finishing the season 6 arc. Yeah, those the first 4 episodes of the season, with the exception of what the season 6 finale episode was, I actually thought it was going very strong. And somewhere between about 5 and 8, the wheel started falling off, but there was still, you didn't notice all the cracks yet. And then when they got to the final end of the first graphic novel, and especially when they started pulling out all the mommy, brother, daddy stuff, everybody noticed then.
Yeah, we all noticed.
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious at that point. And I think, like you said, up to that point, the episodes were good, right? They were like very acceptable episodes. I think most people didn't hate them. Some people loved them. Not everyone loved them, like everyone loved episode 2 specifically. I just remember that in my head. For me, I really enjoyed the Chester Cisco episode. I had a very good time with that episode. I had a very good time with Cisco's episode this last week. And so I think like here and there, you've had some like good episodes. Pretty much it's been like to like bad, like it got bad. And I think this last episode is like another telling sign. So, we got to be careful. But so that's kind of on that topic.
I'll get to this super chat. I just got to check a text message I got. So
sure, no problem.
All right.
Okay, Josh Z sends in a $9.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Josh, for supporting the channel in such a big way. Josh says, can we stop acting like The Flash just now has mediocre writing? The Flash hasn't been anything more than average since season 3. Hoping for the good old days is just not what the show is now. So I think this is like a pretty good topic to bring up, Josh. So thank you very much for sending it in. And I think The Flash, okay, for me, and you guys can rank your favorite seasons in the chat, whatever you guys think of the show, like since, let's say, post season 3, right? So I thought season 4 was terrible. I really don't like season 4. That's the Thinker, all of the stuff surrounding him, and the tone totally shifted, and it was just stupid. Okay, and then season 5 is a divisive season. I really like it. I had a really good time with it. I thought Nora was really good. Then some people really, really don't like it. Season 6, I thought was pretty okay. I thought it was like average, you know. So I agree that wasn't like over average. It was just like sure. Season 7 so far has been like sure, but then a couple of like bad episodes. So I think. I don't know. I think the Flash wavers for me. I don't think I would say it's like always mediocre. I would say sometimes they are better than mediocre. Sometimes they are very good, and they pull out some really, really solid episodes. Like even look at season 4. Like season 4 wasn't good, but then you had a Flash Time episode in it, so it proves that they can still do good stuff. But yeah, something has been going kind of wrong. But CanadaGraphs, did you hear it? Any thoughts?
Can you I can see the super chat, but it's so light I can't read.
Yeah. So Josh says, can we stop acting like The Flash just now has mediocre writing? The Flash hasn't been anything more than average since season 3. Hoping for the good old days is just not what the show is now.
Okay. I'd say there's some validity to that. I won't go as far as to call it mediocre the whole time.
Yeah.
I know I fall back to sports analogies a lot, but I always look at it like a superstar athlete. We all saw the Flash come in, be this great, phenomenon, putting up great stats, all this, and now he's only a good player, Is there anyone that's actively watching The Flash that at least isn't most weeks looking at it and going, well, this is better than nothing? Like, if you're actually looking there and going, man, I wasted an hour of my life watching this, fair enough. But if you at least are leaving it not mad about it, it entertained you. It filled an hour of your life. That's what it's supposed to do. You can't expect it to be, The Mandalorian or, something like that. Like, it's never going to be that because it's on network television,
Yeah.
You have to accept it's a network television show with network television restrictions. And on top of it, it's on a network that is very clear about pushing certain narratives,
Yeah.
If you're looking for just a hardcore superhero show that was like, your Arrow season 1 type stuff, you have to find a different network. The Flash is kind of a fun show. Does it suffer from the writing from time to time? Sometimes. Oh, that was very distracting. There's a school across the street, and I guess
CanadaGraphs is outside of school.
Yeah. There's not a lot of places around here. It's a residential area, so this park is literally the only place to sit down, and there's a school across the street. So the writing is at times definitely a problem, but I don't think it's a consistent problem. I think it's just I want to blame it a little bit on that they've run out of really big ideas that they can do. Like, they can't do 22 episode seasons of one arc. They just can't. Graphic novels, some of them hit, some of them miss. And I think that's going to be the way it is from here till the end of their duration. Yeah. I think you're just going to have to accept that sometimes the story arc they're working on doesn't hit for you. And sometimes it might, you know. Think back to the Bloodwork one. Bloodwork was great. And that was like the first one they did in this series of graphic novels. That one was really well. Mirror Mistress was, I would call, better than average, like decent enough. And then we had this newest one with the Forces didn't hit. So I don't think writing is always necessarily the problem. I think maybe some of the smaller details, people are just like, oh, you know what? Season 1, 2, and 3 were better. And it's like, yeah, season 1, 2, and 3 were better. You're right, because you're talking about someone putting up superstar numbers, whereas now they're just putting up very good numbers. You have to accept that not every show is going to be Breaking Bad from day one through the end, you know?
Yeah.
Think of Game of Thrones, one of the greatest shows of all time. What do people think of season 8? You know, like every show has their weak spots. I think that's just going to be how it is from here to the end. There's going to be times where some of the story arcs aren't going to hit for people, and some of them might, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It is all dependent on like a lot of things. It's not just necessarily writing. But I really appreciate you sending in the super chat, Josh. And I think we're like half agreeing, half like slightly disagreeing. So thanks so much, Josh, for the super chat. And yeah, I think overall, like for me, like I said, I really like season 5. So I would not go as far to say it's been mediocre since season 3, but it's right. The Flash isn't doing as well as it did back then. Obviously, there's stories. They need to find interesting stories right now. And we've mentioned this before. It seems like they are completely going for all the rebirth stuff as of recent. It would be interesting if they went back to some older storylines, and because that's obviously a lot more rich in its history, because rebirth is pretty new still.
I'm a little curious, actually. I thought about this a few weeks ago. I wonder if this has something to do with maybe it's easier to negotiate the rights to the new stuff. And maybe that's why they're sticking to these newer stories. Like, I don't know. I don't know the behind the details of how they come to decide which stories they do and don't do. I know there's certain things they aren't allowed to do, because Batwoman Caroline Dries was very open about at the start of the year. She goes to them, goes, here's what we'd like. And then they come back and goes, here's what we're going to allow you. Yeah. So there is definitely some limitations on what they're allowed to do, right? So
for sure. And I think it was always very restrictive. I think it's a bit less restrictive right now. Just, okay, not for every show, not every character, not every aspect, but like back in the day, they wouldn't let Superman even show up on screen. They wouldn't let any version of Batman show up on screen, like at all.
Yeah. And then I remember that Superman on Supergirl season 1 there, and he was just a shadow.
Yeah, he was a figure. He was just a figure, and that was it. And then he came up in season 2, and everyone was like, oh, "Superman exists." What?
Yeah.
But okay, let's get into Gary's super chat. So
hi, Gary,
199 super chat. Welcome to the stream, Gary. Gary says, "Is the Flash getting delayed later than November 16th? What's the chances?"
I do not want to say yes or no to this, because I was proven wrong a few times the last time Gary asked me about the Flash's start date.
Yeah.
Gary, are you going to delay it? For those of you not in the chat all the time, Gary had an uncanny ability last season of having the Flash keep getting delayed.
Yeah. Literally every time Gary asks it, it just got delayed even more.
Yeah.
Like,
if Gary starts asking questions about a start date, you need to be worried.
Yeah. No, for sure. But in terms of like the Flash going back to filming, has there been any updates as to like what month they're coming back?
So interesting. I was sent an article, and it was something Grant had did about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And if you remind me later, I can send it to you when I'm at home or something. It was like a 30-minute interview he did with some reporter. And in there, he mentioned that he goes back to work in about 5 weeks from the end of the show.
Oh, wow.
Which would put it in July, as I have been trying to tell everyone all along. Now, granted, this interview was done a while ago, because it was, the season was still on. So they might have fine-tuned it a little bit, and it's like 7 or 8 weeks, but that still puts it in July. The latest I would say is super early August, and that would be a little tight, I think, because they've got November start, and like I've explained in my chats before, it's not so much the start date of that first episode, it's the gap between the final episodes filming and airing time, because you lose all that time as the production is moving along. So they need that big starting gap so that by the time they get to that middle gap, they still have enough time to get the process done.
Yeah.
So
and
could they start filming like Mark Pedowitz said in September for a November date? Sure, long as you're doing one episode.
No way.
But
no, that kept them being brought up the September date, and I was like, these shows are coming back in autumn. Like,
he was wrong on so many levels in that interview. I don't even know where he got that. Can you? I got another text, so I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, in terms of like shooting, like of course it's gonna happen in summer. My video tomorrow is going to. I will go into the chats, guys. Just send in any questions you have. Sorry, we just like got a bunch of topics that we're going through because. We have some notes. But yeah, in terms of start dates, like with them coming in November, it only makes sense that they would shoot a lot before, because even with Superman and Lois, you can see they're shooting still right now, and they only have 5 episodes left of the season, and they're playing catch up, right? They're playing catch up so they can get the episodes done by the time 5 weeks comes and Supergirl and Superman goes off and Supergirl comes back. But yeah, my video tomorrow is to do with the release dates, because they just announced that the Flash is coming back in November, not October, so it's delayed like a little bit from what it would be usually. And I'm pretty sure that is because Supergirl is going to be playing up to like the week before. So CanadaGraphs, what do you think about like the Flash coming back in November instead of October? Do you think it's because of Supergirl and Stargirl? Right?
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, I know Mark Pedowitz pitched a lot of theories on why, but I he's been wrong about everything else. So I do believe this is all because Stargirl and Supergirl need to end their seasons by X date, and the Flash would have to bump them off, and so without putting those like last 2 to 4 episodes on hold, it's just easier for them to run out through those episodes, start the Flash a little late. Flash might only get like 18 to 20 episodes again this season, just because they're starting in November. I think they could still squeeze out a 20 plus episode season, but they might have to run it until like late May, early June, which isn't optimal, but but yeah, it was a scheduling thing that once you looked at the details and you counted the weeks, you're kind of like, oh, well, this explains why they're not starting till November. But I'm heading back to set right now, so I've got a few minutes until I get there, but just to let you know, I'll be dropping you in a few minutes.
No, that's no problem. And yeah, so I mean, overall, things happen, it might be delayed, there's all these different reasons. Anyway, Gary sends in another super chat, 199 super chat. Thank you very much, Gary. Gary says, what would be the latest Flash would be delayed? So if it got delayed, it would probably bump back like maybe a week, or like it would be January, I guess, because they don't want to start it in December, because that's normally when they take their breaks, right?
Like they're doing this 5 episode event just like solely to fill up those few weeks, because they looked at it and they're like, this is the only way to have some type of crossover and maybe sort of fill up the schedule, because they knew they were going to be having a late start. So you don't want to start a story arc that's only got 5 episodes. Ironically, I say that because they're about to do that with the Godspeed one, but
yeah.
It's just mostly the fact that they want to get that show on the air, so they want to fill a few of the weeks up, but they know there's not enough time to really get a story arc going, so they just were kind of like, let's do this thing. I lost my train of thought because I was looking at something. What was I talking about?
So you said, like, let's do this thing, start the story arc, like.
Yeah, just before that, I forgot where I was going with this. Well, anyways, they won't be delayed long because they need to get that out before the winter break.
Mhm.
Like, they need to have that little thing done by winter break at the latest. Maybe depending how the story goes, they could do like the first 4 before winter break and have 1 come back after the break. But
Yeah.
that's not optimal.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm back at the set. I am gonna let you go. If you got a last minute question there, shoot. But I'm basically gonna let you go here.
No, I think we're all good. Have a good time on set, and thanks for hopping in.
Anyways, there's Peacemaker. I'll see you guys later.
All right, see you later.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so it's just me now again. So I'll be answering some more of your questions in the chat. I'm sorry. When we have guests here, obviously there is a lot talking because it's like 2 different opinions. So we try and get to everything, but sometimes we can't get to everything in the chat. Again, that's why the super chats are a big thing. And it's just a way for us to prioritize a couple of questions that we can get to 100%. But yeah, so thank you all for sending in all the super chats. We got like 3 more to go through as of right now. We got like 20 minutes more of the stream. I'm going to be going through the normal chat, and I'll talk about Superman and Lois. We haven't talked about much Superman this week because we need to talk about it because it was so good. Okay, so Ryan sends in a $1.99 super chat. Ryan's from Britain, so thank you very much, Ryan. Ryan says Superman and Lois will go on a break until July 27th after after episode 11. Is that true? I did not know about that. I guess it could be true. No, I totally believe you, Ryan. I wasn't aware of that, so I'm just going to quickly check online. So Superman and Lois after episode 11. So episode 11 is this next week. And so if it goes on break that long, that's a long time. That's interesting. So Flashverse or anyone else in the chat, do you think is that 100% happening? I'm just checking on the DC press site because they should have like some details if the episodes are going to be delayed. Oh, okay. I've got it here. Okay, after episode 11, what's going to be happening? So episode 11 is June 22nd, and that is in 5 days' time. And then after that, we're going to be going on a break until July 13th. So that is how many days in June? There's 30 days in June, so there's 8. And then plus 13 is they're going to be going away for 21 days. Oh my God, I didn't even realize there was a break. But yeah, Superman and Lois is going on a 21-day break between episode 11 and 12. So that's kind of big. I need to check the Flash. Is the Flash going on a break again? Because I had no idea about all of this. I have obviously not been looking into the dates much. I'm going on the Flash's page and I'm going to double check this because this is important. Okay, the Flash. So we do have another break soon. So next week's episode is on June 22nd. Then we have episode 15 after that, the week after, on June 29th. And then we have an episode after, episode 16, titled POW, Prisoner of War. That is going to be on July 6th. Okay, no. Wait, my bad. I thought there was a break, but there's no break in the Flash. No, I just read June 29th and I read July 6th and I was like, oh, that's so far away. But no, there is no break in the Flash, so don't worry about that, guys. But there is a big break in Superman and Lois. So that's a big yikes. That is 21 days. And they're going to be returning on July 13th. And July 13th is going to be the day that The Flash is airing Heart of the Matter Part 1, the 2-part finale for the season. So episode 17, the 150th episode, is going to be the night that Superman Lois returns for episode 12. They're going to continue on past the Flash's finale, which is the week after Heart of the Matter Part 2, episode 18, which airs on July 20th. And then obviously once Superman Lois finishes in August, Supergirl is going to come back, Stargirl is going to be premiering, and then is going to go on, and then you're going to have the shows returning. The Flash comes on right after Supergirl ends its final season. So yeah, that's a little bit of an update in terms of like the scheduling. I'm going to get into the scheduling in tomorrow's video, like I said, because they just announced the release date of the season, and I obviously need to go over some of these titles that have just been revealed. I haven't fully gone into like all of the details recently, but we're going to get into it. And yeah, it's just it's very interesting to see what is going on. But I'm also looking at the episode 15 description, and apparently Ultraviolet is still in that episode, even though the episode before next week, the Raya Deleuze episode, she's in. So maybe she sticks around for like a scene. That's weird. I just checked that out on the website, and I guess. And also, Chillblain is back in episode 15. That has been confirmed. So John Core is back for that. Okay, so thank you very much for the super chat, Ryan. Sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent, just updating myself. Hopefully updated some of you guys who didn't know about these delays. But yeah, tomorrow, don't miss the video. It's going to be a big video for all of the big updates to do with like when season 8 is coming out and all these delays. But Gary sends another super chat. Thank you very much, Gary. And he says, do you think Batman will be delayed later than October? I don't think it will, Gary, because they're going to be shooting sometime in the summer, like The Flash. I think they're totally going to be reaching the October date. But thank you very much for the super chat, Gary, and thanks for supporting the channel in such a big way, as always. Okay, we got another super chat from John White. Thank you very much, John. He says, thanks for the great content, guys. When are The Flash and Superman Lois scheduled to end their current seasons? Well, I can update you on that, John, and thanks so much for the compliment on what we do. Obviously, we just try and make as good videos as possible. Obviously, CanadaGraphs, he was here before. He's always out doing sets and, doing cool stuff and trying to keep you all updated. So we all do it for you guys. And just make sure to watch every single video. Even if you don't like the episode that week, watch the video, because it really helps out the channel and it keeps videos coming in and in every single day. And so yeah, much appreciated if you guys continue to watch, even if you don't like an episode. But I'm going to update you on the finale. I'm just looking on the press site for The Flash. So The Flash's finale is going to be coming out on July 20th. So mark that down, John. July 20th is The Flash's finale date. We don't have a confirmed finale date for Superman Lois, but I have episode 13's date, which is July 20th. So that is The Flash's finale day. And then 2 weeks after that, it should be finishing unless they have another break. So I would assume, and it may be like a week off from what my prediction is, but for Superman Lois, I'm going to say it's going to be obviously not July 27th is going to be the penultimate episode of the season. Then the week after is going to be their finale. So if I look at a calendar, if we go July 27th, we should be finishing on August 3rd for Superman Lois. So thank you very much, John, for sending in the super chat. Much appreciated, and hopefully you continue watching, and I really appreciate the compliment. Okay, so we have another super chat, and this is from Night Owl. Thank you very much, Night Owl. Night Owl says, will you break down the Titans Season 3 trailer? Also, thoughts on Legends twist ending. Also, love you guys. Hope for the best and your channel. Thanks so much for the compliment, Night Owl. So I'm actually behind on Titans. I haven't actually watched Season 2, I love season 1. I just haven't got around to watching season 2. I don't know why. But I should go catch up, and I don't think I'll be making a video on that specific trailer. I know they're revealing Red Hood. I think my goal is I'm going to watch and catch up on Titans by the time that Titans season 3 comes out, so I can talk about it, because I'm very interested in the Red Hood stuff and I want to see it happen. I don't have any thoughts on the Legends ending because I haven't watched the Legends episode. I just don't really like Legends at the moment, so that's the only reason I'm behind. But if you guys want me to make Legends videos, I guess I can catch up. But yeah, so thanks so much, Night Owl, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Gary sends in another super chat. Thanks so much, Gary, as always. Gary says, do you think Supergirl will be delayed later than August? No, I think Supergirl is going to be sticking exactly the same. I don't think there is any way that it gets delayed, because that means if Supergirl gets delayed from its date, they're going to be airing the final season of Supergirl all the way into December, and that's why they've delayed The Flash in the first place to November. So obviously they don't want to delay Supergirl anymore. So thanks so much, Gary, for the super chat. Okay, we got Josh. He sends in another super chat. Thanks so much, Josh, for supporting in a big way as well. Josh says, could Grant be in desperate need of a costume since he bulked up between season 6 and 7, and that's why he isn't in the costume as much? Just a thought. Interesting thought. Obviously, everyone over the lockdown has changed in some way or another. Some people have got better. Some people have been exercising a lot. Some people are more strong, a bit more bulky. Some people obviously gained weight. So it's all different for different people. Like in my instance, I lost like a bunch of weight, and I was like, exercising all the time. I'm sure a lot of you guys had some sort of routine over the lockdown where you were doing like exercise, or like you were eating a bunch of food or something like that, so we all kind of dealt with lockdown in our own different ways. But in regards to Grant not being in the costume, I don't think that is a choice of him being like, I can't fit in the suit, because he's been in the suit this season. I don't think it's them trying to avoid putting him in the suit. I think just the stories they've written haven't really been written in a way that it would be the Flash, right? I think they've been just writing, mainly to do with like Barry, and like they've been focusing on other characters a lot this season. So I don't think they've been like focusing that much on the Flash. And I think that's the main reason. I wouldn't say it's like a physical reason why, say, Grant hasn't been in the suit as much. But thanks so much for the thought, Josh, and thanks for the support. Gary sends in another super chat. He says, please do Batwoman review. It was really good right now. Well, I need to watch Batwoman first. I can't review it without watching it, but I will watch it because Diggle does show up. And, I love Diggle, so it's going to be cool. But I guess the only reason I was a bit like put off from watching it is because people were like, oh, he's only in like 2 scenes. And I was like, am I just going to watch like a normal Batwoman episode where I'm not up to date? So obviously I would like to get up to date, but it takes time, and I am pretty busy, if I'm honest. Like, obviously I make videos every day. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm like a full-time writer at Screen Rant, writing about DC Comics. Like, I write 4 articles a day at the moment, so I'm pretty busy between this and that, and like film reviewing, and yeah, I got a lot of things going on. So I'm gonna try and catch up. I want to watch Titans. I want to catch up with Batwoman. I want to catch up with Legends. I've got lots of things that I need to catch up on, and I keep on saying I'm gonna do, but at some point I'm sure I will, very, very soon. And guys, do you know when Titans season 3 comes out? Because I'm not entirely sure, because I would like to catch up by the time it comes out. So if you guys can update me on that, because I'm sure some of you guys know the actual release date, or you can look it up. But thanks so much for the super chat, Gary. Apparently, Superman Lois ends on August 17th, not August 3rd. So keep that in mind. I think it was it Night Owl or was it Josh? No, it wasn't Night Owl. Oh no, it was John White. So yeah, that's the finale date for Superman Lois. I was correct in thinking that they probably have another break between their final few episodes, and that's maybe to even catch up even more. I don't know the reason, but yeah. Okay. Do a live trailer reaction for Titans. I can have a look at the trailer. I don't know if I can play like the sound out loud because I'm gonna get hit. But Gary sends in another super chat. Thank you very much, Gary. He says, "Do you think Iris will be pregnant at the end of the season?" Possibly. Or them trying for a baby doesn't like work out, and like at some point in the future, nearer to the end of the show, they'll be like, "Oh, Iris is finally pregnant," and then that's the reasoning for them. I don't think they need to like show a kid and everything because that's why they bring back the future kid. So that's kind of what they do rather than like having a kid grow up like over the course of the show. Okay, so Flashverse is asking for a live trailer reaction to Titan Season 3. So I'm typing in and okay, I've got it up. Let me share my screen. All right, Titan Season 3. I'm just thinking. I'm going to go get my earphones so I can listen to it. You guys can just see my reaction. I just don't want to get like hit by HBO and they're going to like hate me or something. All right, 1 second, guys. Hold on. We're going to react to the Titans Season 3 trailer. I'll be back in a minute with my headphones. Hey guys, so we are back. Alright, coming around and we're gonna watch this Titans trailer. I know Red Hood is in the season, that's about all I know. Okay. Let's put this in. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear the sound? Let me know in the chat. Oh, it's fine. Maybe I have to edit out. No, you can't hear it. Okay. Well, I'll go like in a smaller screen. Can I like zoom out? Maybe they won't hit it like this. Okay, as long as you can't hear it. Robin. Who is that? Oof. That guy got messed up. Joker? Oh, shit. I get what they're doing, right? I see what they're doing with Joker and Robin. Red Hood. Superboy. Oh, Red Hood. What? Bruce. Interesting. I mean, it looks pretty good. Like, I did like Titan season 1. I haven't watched season 2. I know a lot of people aren't like that much of a big fan of season 2, but season 1 was actually very good. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Let's check when it comes out, actually, because I think I missed it. If you guys said. No, I don't know when it's coming out. So just let me know in the chat, when is Titan season 3 coming out? Because I think I missed it. You do see Joker beating Jason with a crowbar in one of the shots. Oh, was that wide shot? Let me go back. Are you sure that's Joker? It's very dark. I presume that's Joker. I'm not sure. But anyway, so they're setting up a Red Hood thing. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you guys, but yeah. Okay, let's talk about Superman and Lois for a bit. Okay, so now we've hit the hour mark. Send in your final super chat questions if you have anything specific you want to talk about. And, you know, now is the time, so please start sending them in. Right now, as we move into our final topic, which is Superman and Lois. Superman and Lois on a really hot streak right now, still excellent, doing so good. Every single episode this season has been fantastic. I have not disliked or thought an episode was average at all. This last episode, I think, was like the best shot Arrowverse episode ever. And I really do mean that. Some of the shots were just beautiful, and the way they used color was unlike anything else in the Arrowverse. You know, so it was really stunning. But it felt like a finale. It was like a big climactic kind of battle. Obviously, there wasn't like the huge battle between Edge and Superman, but you had his minions actually go out and sort of enact what would have been the kind of start of the end. So, yeah, you have Superman versus Smallville Kryptonians. They will go crazy. They start flying up into the street. Sarah finds out about Superman and everything going on to do with her dad. So that was obviously a big reveal, because now she's been let in on some of the secrets behind Smallville. It's not as simple as it seems from the outside. But there's still 5 more episodes. What the hell is going to go down in the finale is going to be crazy. I can't wait for all of it. I think Superman and Lois is so freaking good right now. Flashverse agrees with my point about cinematography. So good. Yeah, anyway, so pretty much like everyone agrees Superman and Lois is so good right now, and the story is really interesting. You're going to have Steel returning. There was some set photos of him. He's going to be teaming up with Superman, it looks like. So that's super exciting. I can't wait to see that. Obviously, he hasn't been in the last episode or so. So, yeah. Superman and Lois is just such a good show. I was not expecting it to be this good. I thought it would be good. And I thought, you know, I have a track record of falling off on some of these new shows. Like, I haven't kept up with Batwoman. I haven't kept up with Black Lightning over the years. I haven't kept up with... Actually, I kept up with Stargirl. But I was like... But Stargirl was really good. And so if I keep up with a show, that means it's good, right? Because obviously I'm very busy, like, making videos. And, you know, I have to pick and choose what you guys want to watch, right? I feel like you guys actually kind of want to watch Superman and Lois videos as well. And there is, like, a lot of interest in the show right now. And it's a big thing. And I really like it. So I really love making the videos. And if you guys haven't checked out my review for the episode this week, and if you haven't checked out my review for The Flash this week, you should go check it out after this stream, because I obviously go into a lot of detail. Yes, we went over like a bunch of stuff throughout this stream with CanadaGraphs earlier and just with myself, but the reviews, please be sure to watch it every week. The Flash review always comes out in the middle of the night, but then the Superman Lois review comes out a bit later. So that is just how it goes, and that's how we have sort of structured it recently. But yeah, so Superman Lois is so good, and I can't wait to see more. Trekopedia agrees with me, saying Superman Lois is so good. Jonathan must have powers, and Jordan needs to become evil. And when Superman dies, Jonathan takes his role as Superman, and it's Jordan versus Jonathan. That would be interesting. That would be interesting, to say the least. Gary sends in a super chat. Thanks so much, Gary. Gary says, do you think General Lane will turn on the Kent family? So I've been pleasantly surprised that he hasn't turned on the Kent family recently. Obviously, he did the thing with the kryptonite, but that was to be expected. Yes, it's a bit of an asshole move, but at least he's sticking with his family, and he's sticking on their side rather than going against Superman like he normally does in basically every other depiction of him. So it is very refreshing. Sorry. It is very refreshing to see him on their side. So I would hope he stays on their side, because I really like it when he's on their side. And so, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. So thank you. I can't talk. Thank you so much, Gary, for the super chat and for the very good question. So we're going to be wrapping up the stream in just a moment. So this is like your 2-minute warning, just so you guys know. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up like my thoughts on the Flash. Obviously, we talked about a lot of the controversies this week. So hopefully you guys have some big thoughts about all of that. You can obviously leave that in the comments down below. Once this live stream is done, feel free to do that. It's always up afterwards, as long as my internet is good. And my internet has been good today, so that's very good. Thanks to my internet being right behind my computer. So that's awesome. Do you think Steel will get his suit? Well, his Steel suit has already been made, and he's obviously going to be using it. And that's going to be happening very, very soon. Love and care about you and appreciate you very much. DCTV show. Well, thank you very much, Stephen. We've got a final super chat from Silhouetted Animator. Thank you very much, Silhouetted Animator. Sends in a $2 super chat. Thanks so much. He says, how would you feel if Superman and Lois brought in Seg-El? Well, I would really like that, because I really like Krypton. I love Krypton, and if it was made Arrowverse canon, I would be like, this is super interesting. Because if you guys didn't watch Krypton, what Krypton was all about was, it was them in the past, right? It was Superman's family on Krypton, and you had elements of time travel, you had elements of lots of different things, and I think it is a super interesting concept, and very gutted that it's not continuing. But I would love to see Seg-El show up at some point, and I know he's a big fan of these shows, like the actor, so he would totally be down. It's just if like the showrunners of Superman and Lois want him to show up and think it makes sense. But yeah, great question, Silhouetted Animator. I really like that question, because I would love to see Seg-El show up at some point. Vera says the stream is not the same without the Wi-Fi issues. Yeah, well, it's a shame, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. That's pretty much it. Oh, Arrowverse Scenes is here just as we end the stream. Sorry about that, Arrowverse Scenes. But yeah, we're gonna head off. We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes now. So thank you so much for everyone who has stuck out throughout the whole stream, everyone that has supported. Obviously, we heavily rely on you guys that watch all of the videos, so please be sure to watch every single video I make, all the other people make, like CanadaGraphs, who showed up on this stream. It's very important that you guys do that. Check out my latest Superman and Lois review, my latest Flash review. That came out just yesterday, so that is my latest stuff that is on my channel currently. Tomorrow we're going to have a big video talking about The Flash and season 8 because they just released the premiere date for that. And also we got some news that we talked about in today's live stream about like some of the delays, like Superman and Lois is getting delayed, and there's a few different things. But yeah, that's about it for this live stream, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Join us again next Thursday, 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. ET, Eastern Standard Time. If you're in America, that's the only one I know that correlates. But yeah, come back next week. We always stream on Thursdays. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you missed anything, you can watch it on the playback. It's going to be up pretty much straight away after the live stream's done. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you, Vera. See you, Michael, Maya, Dark Shadow, Gary Gammon, and everyone else. And so, yeah, catch you guys later. Watch tomorrow's video. Watch my latest videos. And yeah, good night, guys. And so I accidentally just clicked off the video. I didn't end the broadcast. See you guys later. Goodbye.